Coaches.
Well, good morning, and of course, from coast to coast, the Weather Channel has you covered. Thank you for choosing to start the new season with us, the summer season.
It is here, and by all measures, I think by now. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno, alongside our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel. Our senior national correspondent, Justin Michaels, will also join us with news you can use before you hit the road this weekend. And if you're looking for a vacation spot, how about Lauderdale by the Sea?
How about absolutely, right?
It looks great.
Why wouldn't you?
The sun's too bright to do anything else, really, if you ask me.
Oh my gosh.
It is warm. 86 feels like 96. And we're at, what, 10 a.m.?
Yes, and I can sort of see a sense that the wind is coming in off the water. So that's good news. It's going to keep temperatures on the beach in check later on. But it's very humid.
Right, yeah, you can see how they have the umbrella angled. You probably can't see it's right behind you, but the umbrella angled to get that lower sun angle, so then they'll, as it goes up dead ahead today, they'll raise that umbrella.
A pro beacher right here.
Well, the first big deal of the summer, combined heat.
Well, from coast to coast, thank you guys for joining us. The Weather Channel has you covered. And again, thank you for choosing to start a new season with us. That's the summer season.
Summer solstice comes in tonight. So first day of summer has to be by now. There's no other way to slice or dice it. Nothing else beyond this, right? But more summer. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno, alongside storm specialist Dr. Greg Postel. Our senior national correspondent Justin Michaels will also join us with news you can use before you hit the road this weekend. And if you're looking for a vacation spot, we're looking at Lauderdale by the Sea as an option today.
It's beautiful there. I mean, I would be there in a heartbeat if I could.
What do you think the water temperature is?
Ooh, mid-80s probably. Yeah. I don't know for sure, but I would guess mid-80s.
I would guess even upper 80s, actually. Yeah, a lot of folks in the water. We can check.
Jess, our weather producer.
Should we go down and take a trip?
I think we're going down. By the way, we won't finish the rest of this hour. We're going to be on our way to Florida.
Well, the first big deal of the summer does combine the heat. Today looks good. 82 in New York, 81 into D.C. The storms are gone, and a lot of you have cleaned up. But this big ridge is going to be building east. We've been dealing with this over the Southwest now for a week and a half or so, where temperatures, maybe even a little bit longer, where temperatures were hitting some high levels even above average there. Now we're going above average across the middle of the country as we see the pattern shift, the ridge building, sending our feels like up to the triple digits all through this area. Omaha, one of the worst, with that feels like of 108. Tomorrow's forecast, it expands. Chicago, we're going to feel like 106. Around Indianapolis, 102. St. Louis, 106. It's hard to figure out how you do anything outside with this kind of excessive heat. And I know, it's been raining nonstop. You have a lot of stuff to do outside, right? The yard needs to be cut, the weeds need to be pulled, but it's just going to be too tough out there for any long periods of time. The extreme heat warning is in place. That includes Minneapolis down through Des Moines and Lincoln and Nebraska. Right now, we've got heat advisories elsewhere east of there and extreme heat watches to the east of there, getting towards the East Coast. Those will start to fill into heat advisories and warnings once we just get closer to the heat is coming. Denver, 99. That could be a daily record. That would tie it anyway. North Platte looking like we'll break it, coming close in Rapid City. Goodland should tie it as well. Scotts Bluff, you've got 2 days in a row of looking at record temperatures. Valentine as well. And in Mitchell, South Dakota, 2 days of kind of extreme heat. 107. The record to beat is 101. So this is big deal heat. That's a daily record, but big deal. And this is another point that I think will make you understand just how big of a deal it is. Not only are we going to feel like it's 100 degrees in the Northeast, we're going to potentially get to 100 degrees or a degree higher on the thermometer. Look at Philadelphia, 101 on Monday, 102 on your Tuesday, and then still hot on Wednesday at 99. And I would say there is a chance that we could even get to 100 here. And we haven't done that. Mostly it hasn't happened often, but when we've had 100 degrees before in Philly in June, it's been twice in a row, not 3 times. So that's a big deal. DC, look at this. We've got 3 days in a row of 100-degree temperatures, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Raleigh, we're going up to 100 degrees here. Not just 2 days, not just 3 days, 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. And again, with the forecast for you at the end of the week on Friday, getting up to 98. Can't put it past the atmosphere to still reach us to that 100-degree temperature mark. So it is extreme. It's lasting. A series of days like this, and the fact that overnight it doesn't cool down, is a big part of the challenge with the heat wave and why it's so tough on our bodies. And, Justin, for the Northeast especially, we're cleaning up and trying to get power back on after storms yesterday.
Yeah, Jen, summer picnic.
And that's a good point, man. That June gloom, all of a sudden, just like that, it set in. No sun right at the coast. Coast.
Debbie, you know what Debbie says? Well, Debbie says summer begins at our first cookout on Memorial Day. I get that.
Yeah, that's definitely a classic way to kick off summer, a cookout. And maybe it's Memorial Day or maybe it's the weekend before or after. But yeah, we have these traditions, right?
Yeah,
that kick off summer.
And I also think letting out of school. I've been saying it all morning.
Yeah.
Letting out of school. When kids are out for school, parents are out. Parents are dealing with it. Teachers are also off for the summer. That's a big day for everybody.
It is a frame of mind for sure.
Right.
Well, keep those comments coming. You can share them on social media.
I'm through. This that hot girl bummer anthem. Turn it up and throw attention. I'm through. I hate you.
As the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season gets underway, scientists at NOAA won't have access to the information gathered by sail drones.
Senior national correspondent Justin Michaels has a closer look at what that means for forecasters.
Well, Jen and Dr. Postel, for several years now.
Thank you so much for joining us to start a new season with us, summer season.
The summer solstice is tonight.
Yeah.
So first day of summer.
Hey,
I mean,
celebrate that.
we can celebrate, and we will. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno, alongside our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel. Our senior national correspondent, Justin Michaels, also will join us with news you can use before you hit the road this weekend. If you're looking for a vacation spot, Lauderdale by the Sea has been the spot that we've had our eye on today.
It's looking better and better each hour.
Yeah, I mean, no complaints. There's plenty of front row spots open.
And how come they're not occupied?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. Because
Maybe this is a private beach we're looking at.
Maybe that is. But the wind is off the water, so it's got to be kind of a cool-ish sea breeze. Now, the water's very warm, so it's not like a really cold sea breeze, but...
I think it's optimal, actually.
Right. 87 degrees with a 10-mile-per-hour wind off the water.
This is air that gives you a hug. This is everything, right? When you're,
incredible.
Inside the air conditioning and it's so cold, or you're cold for months, you're just excited for summer, you want to step outside in air like this.
Let's go. Let's go after the show. We're going to head down there.
See if we make it.
We'll be back on Monday reporting from the beach.
Well, the first big deal of the summer does combine. It had to have been. What else could it have been?
There's no other thing it could have been.
We're going to talk more about storms that ride the ridge in today's Coffee Talk. And honestly, we saw it happen already last night. We're really just getting into this pattern.
Yes, these storms are very good at riding the ridge, we'll call them, where they form in certain places near heat waves. And we only need to go back as far as yesterday to show one of these events happening.
So the lines on the map are showing us where we've got the fastest winds. We have a lot of lines close together. So that's where the jet stream is, and that's to the north. And that's where we have the fastest winds. And just along that is where thunderstorms fire it up on the northern edge of the heat bubble.
And the reason why they do it there and not in the middle of the heat wave where you think it's very hot and unstable, that is true, but there's also a cap in the middle of these heat waves where the air about 10,000 feet above the ground is just a bit too warm to allow the storms to get going like a lid on a pot of boiling water. It's on the edge of that lid where the storms get going. Let's go back and run this animation from yesterday morning. Watch how they formed last night, where they did, and then where they moved.
Exactly. The ridge has not expanded that much yet. And so, you saw sort of how they exploded over the Dakotas and then were able to sink south. But the ridge is going to change shape as we get into time. The way that you described these, though, I thought was great, like a roller coaster ride. And like the sound effects.
Clank, 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 clank. You're going up to the top of the roller coaster, then you fly down it.
That's what the storms do.
Storms are doing that. And they like that place, as I mentioned, because they're removed from the cap. They don't have to worry about that lid. And they're near the jet stream. They can access all that wind energy aloft. So they've got both the instability nearby, the fast winds aloft they can use to bring all that bad weather with them.
As you mentioned, underneath the ridge, there's a ton of instability. You can't tap into
release it
because of the cap. And the forecast shows how this ridge grows in size, and we still have the jet stream to the north of it. And so, again, the ingredients are there.
Here's forecast mode. Jen is exactly right. Watch those storms form along the northern edge, and then maybe Saturday night, tomorrow night, roll into New England as they continue to form along that arc, which is a very dangerous place for severe weather. You can get these long-lived high wind events like derechos commonly there.
Right, derechos on the ground for more than 240 miles. To be a derecho, you have to have at least 3 wind reports of 75 miles per hour or greater. I mean, 75 miles per hour, that starts to get into extreme damage.
These are destructive storms, no doubt. And looking ahead through the end of June, if you combine where the Climate Prediction Center thinks it's going to be hot, the heat wave in the southeast, well, where's the most likely area for a whole lot of rain? Where these ridge riders are on the top of these heat waves.
We've seen some really bad storms, these ridge riders before. Like there was a derecho back in 2020 in Iowa. And this is the one that just sticks out in recent memory. I mean, cornfields completely.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So true. When
That's
the pollen
another.
stops,
That's a really solid other.
That's a transition.
Yeah.
Well, Mike says, well, according to one of my favorite
Summer solstice for me. Because that's always been my thing, is like summer begins when I go to see Kenny Chesney. And normally the way his tour works, it's usually in May, like mid-May in Atlanta.
Right.
But this year he's at the Sphere in Vegas. And I did go, and I felt the beginning of summer. But like to go to the show on the summer solstice would be pretty epic. So I'm going to make it happen.
You're going to make it happen?
She's going to make it happen.
My sister and I are right after the show. We're going to get there.
You packed your bags, huh?
I'm packed. My clear purse is ready to go.
Ready to go. Right.
Well, thank you all for playing along in our poll question today. And coming up, we got meteorologist Felicia Combs and Paul Goodlow. They'll get you ready for the first evening of summer when Weather Channel Live shines bright at the top of the hour.
Let's head south a while.